Hello everyone and welcome to Clawson High School for tonight's girls varsity basketball match. MAC Silver matchup between Warren Woods Tower and your Clawson Trojans. The Trojans come in with a 9-1 record and 6-0 in league play, while Warren Woods Tower is coming in looking for their first win. The Trojans are coached by Coach Kelly Horn, while Warren Woods Tower is coached by Brian Sosha. I'm here joined by my friend Nate Vesper, and we'll be on the call for you guys tonight.
Thanks, Jack. The Clawson girls seem to start 6-0 in MAC Silver play, and coming around in the second time through replay, they'll have a target on their back. The second matchup with Warren Woods Tower, who they blew out in the first half last time, and ended up being a closer game while playing most of the bench in the second half. Hopefully the Trojans can jump out to an early start yet again and keep their perfect lead record alive.
A person to watch for tonight's girls basketball team for the Trojans is Renata Carlesimo. She's the leading scorer on tonight's squad. We should be in for an interesting matchup, and even though Warren Woods Tower is winless, it still should be a pretty close and fascinating game.
As the voice of Michigan student athletes,
It's a debate message on high school sports are supposed to be played.
Miss O'Connor!
Responsible for helping MHSA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere.
in which interscholastic athletes can thrive.
We believe athletes should be competitive,
Sportsmanlike and excel academically.
We believe students in the stands should have fun.
but not take the focus away from the game.
We believe coaches should act as teachers.
And we're off here at Clawson High School with the as Renata Carlesimo brings the ball up for the Trojans. Now off to Charlie Werner. Back to Renata. Down to Jill Lightford, and it's good. Trojans hop out to a quick 2-0 lead after the Jill Lightford.
Trojans came out in their 1-2-2 press. That gave Southwick a lot of problems. And it looks like it gave Warren Woods Tower some problems as well, but they got a decent shot. They just end up airballing it.
It'll be Warren Woods Tower out of the out of bounds call after Al Werner went for the rebound and came down out of bounds. Ball will be inbounded by number 10, Kaylee Pinks, a junior forward for Warren Woods.
There's a strong take there by number 23, forcing Joe Lyford into an early foul.
As Warren Woods Tower is going to be shooting their first free throws for the night. Looks like number 23, Isabella Kofer.
We saw in our last broadcast, Jack, how crucial free throws can be to the outcome of the game as number 23 misses their first free throw. And last time it wasn't as much to kill the other team as Clawson missing their free throws and giving the opponent opportunities at the line. Let's see if they can flip that around tonight.
Yeah, let's hope that Kelly Horns put them into practice on the free throws, especially after the last game. Charlie Werner comes down with the rebound as Warren Woods Tower cannot convert on their free throws. And sophomore Renata Carlesimo will bring the ball up. Trojans leading point guard. Ball swung now to Al Werner, back up top to Justice Biddle. Looks like they're swinging around. Al Werner again with it. Tipped away, grabs it, controls it. Looking, ball tipped away again, pass back out to Renata Carlesimo for the jump shot. Just off, and rebounded by number 23. Ball is now up to number 13, McCain, as Warren Woods Tower looking to bring something up, caused a little bit of trouble, but finally gets the ball over half court. Warren Woods Tower now looking to set something up. Hopefully the Trojans defense is suffocating like it was last time. Runner's just off the mark and rebounded by Al Werner. I'll bring it up before giving it off to Renata Carlesimo.
That's two early opportunities the Trojans had already to push the ball up the court, and they're not looking to do that. They're looking to get in the half court and play their game slow, which is what they're used to.
Charlie Werner missed the layup, gets a rebound, brings it back out to her sister Al, back out to Charlie. Charlie looking to corral it. Back out to Nada for the three-point attempt, and it's good!
That was great ball movements there by Trojans to get their shot they wanted. They passed up two good shots for a great one. They get rewarded for it.
And the press coming into effect, and hopefully Warren Woods Tower is going to be able to break it. As the ball goes up to the point guard, Kaylee Finks. Ball's out of bounds, but it will stay with the Titans. Titans looking to get on the board early, as they were unable to do that last time, but as they turn the ball over to Justice Biddle, they will not do that there. Let's hope Clawson got out to a pretty 18-point lead the last time they saw Warren Woods Tower. More of the same tonight. Justice Biddle down to Al Verner, out to her sister Chuck. Up top to Justice. Looking, passes it off to Jill Leifer and back up top to Renard Clawson. Will be forced swinging it to Al Verner. Verner to the lane, quick pass down to Biddle. And Biddle will go with the line for two.
This is an interesting look for the Trojans because their offense looks like a 3 out, 2 in right now, but they're really playing with 3 post players on the court, and Jill Leifert, Alex Verner, and Justice Biddle. It's a lot different from what they saw against Suffolk with 4 and 1 out dribble drive offense, where they try to get to the middle. It looks like they're trying to run screens for the 2 big and get those open and work from there once they get the ball into the short corner or the free throw line.
Justice Biddle hits the first free throw to extend Clawson's lead to 6, and this is a familiar sight for Kelly Horn and the Trojans early on this season. Jumping out to early first quarter leads, but the last time that we were here, it seemed like they needed to stay mentally tough to keep that after getting on a run, but they cause another turnover. It'll be a kick ball out of bounds and will stay Clawson ball. With 4:59 left, so just over the 3-minute mark. Clawson jumps out to an early 6-0 lead, hoping to get on it here. Charlie Verner will inbound the ball for the Trojans. Out to Renara Calissimo, and they will look to set something up. Renata in the middle of the lane, gets the ball tipped away, but gains back control. Over to Justice. Justice taking it in, and we'll draw another foul. Be the second on Warren Woods Tower, and Justice will be shooting her 3rd and 4th free throws the other night.
It was a little bit of a broken play there, but still very good ball movement by the Trojans. You see Justice Biddle again attacks the rack strong and gets an easy foul to go shoot 2 free throws at the line.
Well, let's see if she's able to knock him down. Seems a little bit of confusion about who was going in. As she knocks down the first, so now she's 2 of 3 so far on the night.
That's a great sign for the Trojans, especially considering they went 3 for 13 in the first half against Southlake the last time we did this, and even struggled even more in the second half, missing
and it looks
9
like
or 10.
Al Verner's coming out what looks like possibly a bloody nose, as Natalie Champagne checks in for Al Verner.
Yeah, I think that substitution there is very interesting because you have 2 guards that Miss Horn could have brung off the bench instead, but instead she's staying with the 3 big lineup with Champagne, Leifert, and Biddle now.
And Justice has Justice drawing another foul. Just 3 straight attempts now where she's gone straight to the rack and has drawn 3 fouls, and now she'll be going to the line again. She'll be shooting her 5th and 6th free throws that night already, and we're not even halfway through the first quarter tonight. Let's hope the Trojans can stay on top, as they now wave off the previous free throw made by Justice off of lane violation, so it will now be 7-0 for the Trojans. Has gone to the line early and often tonight. As number 12, Nina Callie, checks in for Warren Woods Tower. Justice makes both to make the score 8-0 here. Hopefully Warren Woods Tower can break the scoring drought. They break through the press, having the ball up top. Looking for somewhere to go. Justice Biddle playing some good defense at the moment. And we get a 5-second call as number 13 did not get rid of it in time.
That's an interesting strategy from Warren Woods Tower. He seems to be trying to dribble through his own press, but they don't really have a great ball handler to do that. And you see him get caught up once the Trojans get back into their man-to-man defense, and they can't really do anything.
And we have the first turnover of the night. As Warren Woods Tower was now taking the ball out, hopefully to break the press now. Missed screened right now, as Warren Woods Tower controls the ball. Oh, looking for another turnover. There's Justice. Big defensive presence, goes to the roll and draws another foul. She'll already be going to the hole and will be shooting her 7th and 8th free throws, and we're again just over now the halfway point on the first quarter.
Yeah, I'm sure this was a big emphasis from Coach Horn in the last couple of weeks, is that the Trojans have to make their free throws. I was at the away game at Warren Mott, but the Trojans got out to another big early lead. And Warren Mott, who's also a very good team, came back, took the lead at one point, but Alex Werner was perfect from the free throw line in the fourth quarter. The Trojans nailed free throws down the stretch to distance themselves from Warren Mott, and those are the kind of games you have to win in a conference play, especially in a conference like the MAC's over, because it's going to be tough. You're not going to play your best every single game, and you have to win those tough games, especially against a good team like Warren Woods Tower, and they found a way to do it, and that way they found was nailing free throws at the end of the game and playing some lockdown defense.
So now Justice Biddle nailing both free throws, as she's been pretty efficient early. I believe 6 of 8 or 5 of 8 from the line so far. Big block by number 14, Jill Lyford, and the ball will be brought up, it looks like now by Charlie Werner, who now gets it to Renata Carlesimo, the main ball handler for the Trojans. 3:25 remaining in the first quarter, and the Trojans cling to a 10-point lead early. Ball swinging, a little bit sloppy. Back down to Justice Biddle. Looking, no foul call. Back up to Nada Carlesimo. Was looking for a shot, and it got defense collapsed on her. Nice defense by Warren Woods Tower with the hands as they cause the deflection, and the ball will stay here with the Trojans.
Still, that was a really nice rotation there by Clawson, and good recognition by Justice Biddle, not to just stand in the corner wide open, but try to cut in and find that space in the short corner, and she almost created a really good shot by skipping the ball across.
Charlie Werner, yeah, that looks like Warren Woods is now switching into more of a zone look. See if how the Trojans handle it. Mid-range jumper just off the mark for Renata Carlesimo. Ball stolen by Chuck, back to Renata for a layup, no good. Battle for it. Renata comes up with it out to Natalie Champagne, and the Trojans will look to set up. Ball to Charlie Werner now. Renata Carlesimo with the ball up top. And yeah, it looks like Warren Woods has shifted from man into that 2-3 zone look.
It almost looks more like a 1-2-2, but it looks like some of their players might be confused about their assignment because they're a little bit all over the place.
Yeah, it's a weird look, and number 10 seems to be just drifting around, not really knowing her part of it. As Natalie Champagne takes a mid-range, but they'll get Renata Carlesimo for an over-the-back call.
That's a foul Coach Horn will take all day. It's Renata Carlesimo being aggressive, crashing the boards. It's a good rebound by the Warren Woods Tower player.
Yeah, that's a
foul here.
That's a good hustle play. As Al Werner now checks back into the game, and so does Leah Vesper and new point guard Abby Lodato. So at least around 6 minutes into the game, Kelly Horn's getting her bench in. Titans have been breaking the press fairly easy, still getting the ball up and down when they want to, just haven't been able to find that offense yet. Ball's batted out of bounds, but will stay with the Titans. We'll see how the new lineup plays with some fresh legs in there and bringing back Al Werner, which is a good presence as she intercepts the pass. Taking it down, she'll look for options, passes off to Aaliyah. Aaliyah to the rack, just off. Rebounded by Tower, Tower breaking out, so no press from Clawson this time. A little bit of a carry miss there, but shot's no good, and then rebounded by Natalie Champagne.
I'm really surprised the Trojans don't do what they just did on that last possession more. They saw Alex Werner get a steal, and she took it down the court on a fast break by herself. The Trojans have more than enough talent to do that, to have 4 people on the court that can bring the ball up and push it. It's all just a matter of learning how to do it at this point because they have more than enough talent. I think that could really take them to the next level if they learn how to run the court and really get out and push the teams because their defense is there to create the steals, the deflections, to make that all happen. Once they learn how to do it properly, I don't know who will stop them because they're too athletic and talented.
Yeah, the foul there will go on number 12, Nina Callie, and that will be the Titans' 5th in the first quarter. Al Werner at the ball up top. Looking, ball gets squirted away in Warren Woods Tower. Now there's a scrum for it. Looks like we're going to get a jump ball. Ball will go to the Titans, so good defensive effort there by the Titans to cause that jump ball, and now they have the ball. Looking for somewhere. It looks like they got the press set up again. Looking like a 3-up press now for the Trojans with people rotating. And there they go, causing a deflection, another turnover. We haven't seen as many as we saw against Southlake, but they're still there. As a good look for number 3, Aaliyah Vesper. She puts it in and put the Trojans up 12, closing this first quarter.
The Trojans aren't looking to put pressure on that initial pass. It's more waiting for them to get in the bad spots right by the half-court line and trapping there at the corners to create the bad deflections and force them into bad passes.
Ball deflected and goes out of bounds. It will be Clawson ball. Warrenwood's Tower still not able to break the spell. And that's not going to get you anywhere without scoring points. You need points to win. Around the 40-second mark right now. Trojans holding to a strong 12-0 lead, but as we've seen, that can quickly change, but hopefully we don't get the same story as we did against Southlake. Rotating, really good passes through the zone as Natalie Champagne misses. Abby Lodato brings down the offensive board, just no good off the back of the rim.
As this first quarter winds down, I think the Trojans could be up by more than 12 months, and they could have hit a few more shots. But overall, I think Kelly Horn would be really pleased with the little things she's seen this quarter, between the pressure on defense and all the free throws that they made, being aggressive going to the basket, and the really impressive ball movement.
Natalie Champagne.
Today, we're going to show you how to become a registered MHSAA game official. It's easy. Start by going to the MHSAA website and click on Officials in the heading. From there, click on the big red letters that say Register Now. If you've never officiated with us before, click on Become an Official and fill out all of the requested information. After you've done that, just answer a few questions, including agreeing to a criminal history check, select your sport, and pay the registration fees, which are among the lowest in the nation. You'll still need to pass a general exam and fulfill some general principles of officiating requirements. Next, get connected with the local officials association. It's the best way to get trained, get games, and get you started in this new adventure in officiating. Every year, we need at least 1,500 new officials, so join us. And if you're unable for whatever reason, you can help keep our new officials, or for that matter, all officials, in the game by showing them respect for just getting out there. Think of every game as a 4-lane highway. There's one for players, one for coaches, one for officials, and one for fans. So
And we're back here at the start of the second quarter. Trojans clinging to a 12-0 lead over Warrenwood's Tower. Aaliyah Vesper with the ball now looking, and she draws a shooting foul, and that will be the 6th foul on Warrenwood's Tower.
That's something I haven't seen for the Trojans yet this year, that little flex action down low at the block where they're sending a baseline runner and sending a little screen on the weak side and looking to get the ball over there on the reversal.
We have Aaliyah Vesper, your sister, at the free throw line, Nate. Hopefully she nails both. And she misses the first. Again, free throw shooting is always stressed, but it seems, especially for this past few games, the Trojans have really seemed to put some more stress on that after their not so successful runs as of late at the line. But Aaliyah Vesper makes a second to put them up by 13. As much as it isn't as fast-paced as an offensive game as it was the last time these two teams met, the Trojans obviously are still doing a great job defensively, as right there Aaliyah gets a steal and will draw another foul. And Clawson, just at the beginning of the second quarter, will already be in the bonus.
I find it very interesting that Warrenwood's Tower has made 0 adjustments, that they turn the ball over at the same spot every single time. They dribble into the same bad positions and try to make the same bad passes. And right now, credit to the Trojan defenders, but they're practically giving it to them every possession. It's too easy.
Let's see if Aaliyah can redeem herself and make both this time. And she nails the first to put them up 14. As number 24, Alexis Jablonski checks in for the Tower. Second on the way. No good, and it'll remain 14-0. Tower looking to score anything at this point. Almost turns the ball over there. Still looking, a little bit more control now on the offensive end. Hoping to find any type of lane. With Eddie the steal, and it looks like an easy layup. And it's good. As we get a timeout from Warrenwood's Tower, with the score being 16-0. 7:10 remaining here in the second quarter, and it looks like the same. They're just early starts are still getting to them.
I'll be curious to see if later in the second quarter and for most of the second half, if Kelly Horn will try out some lineups she's been looking at lately and hasn't been able to try out in the game just because it's a big lead the Trojans have built up early, and I see no signs of them looking back.
Yeah, hopefully, if I were a coach, that's what I would attempt to do, is try to get people in there that are unusual lineups, and maybe just get some people in there to gain some depth when it comes down to district time and when you need them.
Well, not just that, is that you have a really good young core of players here, and you should put some of those younger players in some very uncomfortable positions, maybe make some younger players like Charlie Werner or Leah Vesper bring the ball up, which is not used to at all.
Warrenwood's Tower now bringing the ball up, and there looks to be a whole bunch of offensive or missed calls on that. It looked like there was a travel on the inbounds and looked like almost a travel on the right there, but no calls, and it's still Warrenwood's Tower ball. Still looking. This Trojans defense is just suffocating right now, and another air ball. Big rebound, number 23, but we have a travel call, and it will be Clawson ball. Hopefully the pace of the game speeds up a little bit, but the pace right now isn't terrible. Aaliyah looks to Al Werner to the lane, looking for Jill Lyford. Jill Lyford passes out to Ava McNeil, just corrals it at the top of the key. Now to Abby, and there, Warrenwood's Tower can't really tell what looked there, but nice cut. Nice cut by Aaliyah Vesper, nice pass by Abby Lodato. As it will be 18-0 now, and they're right back where they were the last time these two teams met. But Warrenwood's Tower just not being able to find anything right now. Almost like a double dribble, but foul's called.
You know, the most impressive part about this Trojans press so far is that they seem to have their rotation clearly. It doesn't matter what kind of passers, a skip pass, or which player's throwing it to where. They all seem to know where they go and seem to where to drop and get to their proper depth and how to get back on defense and recover properly.
Let's see if they can finally get on the board, and that will not happen here as she misses the free throw. And obviously, there's been no shots made from the field, and no free throws obviously have been made. And that's also off, so Warrenwood's Tower will remain scoreless. And what are the realistic chances that we get a shutout here tonight?
I would say next to none.
I mean, the way that the Trojans are playing now, you never know.
That is true.
Unless they start putting the reserves in, that's the only way I see Warrenwood's Tower possibly getting a bucket.
Yeah, but blind squirrel finds the acorn every once in a while.
That is true. That is true. Leah Vesper just off there as Warrenwood's Tower comes with the rebound. Looks like a little bit of a travel, but they'll get a jump ball call. But it will go down to Warrenwood's Tower once again. Another solid audience tonight for tonight's game. A majority of the home stands seem to be filled up pretty well. A lot of students on hand tonight enjoying this Friday night game.
Yeah, you can also see there's a lot of light up in the crowd. Clawson hosted his first ever unified game tonight, and it was a huge success. Big turnout, had both bleachers filled up, and Clawson came away with a big victory. And it was just a lot of fun. Got to see a lot of smile on everyone's faces.
And now they're up 20 once again. And if I'm Kelly Horn, I'm looking to at least maybe get some late minute subs in.
And it looks like there's a mass exodus of substitutes. A new 5 for Clawson.
There's the subs that we were looking for. Is number 32, Natalie Champagne, number 12, Renara Colessimo, Charlie Werner, Justice Biddle, and Ayanna Terry are the 5 on the floor for the Trojans.
I would give number 23, Ayanna Terry, the award for the best shoes on the court.
I would have to agree with you there. Those are pretty snazzy.
There she is with a big rebound.
Oh, she wants Ayanna Terry in, and she wants the ball. And it'll be Trojan ball after the jump ball.
If there's one thing the Trojans don't lack in that front court, it's a lot of willing rebounders.
That is true. They are very at it on the offensive and defensive boards. Kelly Horn preaches that 5 people box out at every single possession, so it's not uncommon to see this out of a Kelly Horn team. Nara Calissimo with the ball up top for the Trojans, looking for somewhere to go. Gives it off to Natalie Champagne. Looks like a pivot stop down to Justice. Nice pass. Just off her. Natalie Champagne goes up. No good. And Warren Woods Tower is just still searching for the first points. They might get him right here. No good. Just short. Rebound torn away. Nara Calissimo gets the ball. Saves it. Driven right back to. Oh! And they get a foul underneath. I don't know about that call, Nate. It looked like she was more out of control. Nobody really laid a finger on her. It looked more of like a travel.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of that this game. Warren Woods Tower doesn't really
And the
play
fans
in
are
control.
displeasing that as you see point guard Alex Cordone showing his displeasure.
Yeah, might be a good idea if Alex shaved that mustache. It's getting a little bit too
Yeah, it
fuzzy.
does not look good right now. Not a good look. Still throwing the balls up. Justice Biddle comes down with it, looking on the fast break. Charlie just over the line as she receives the pass from Justice. 3:39 remaining in the second quarter. Clawson out to a 20-0 lead. Charlie Werner in good with the midi to make it 22-0.
And yet again, Kelly Horn's going to have no complaints about this first half. It's easy to play down to the level of competition. The Trojans have done none of that. They've played hard. They've executed really well, and the results are showing.
They sure are. As the ball goes out of bounds, it will stay Warren Woods Tower ball, but still no score. And I don't think you can play a much better defensive half. Seems like the girls are all having a good amount of fun right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure. When you're playing games like this, it's hard not to have fun.
Ball still swinging around. Doesn't look like much space. A shot that I didn't expect to, but the ball will be tapped out of bounds and will stay Clawson ball. Trojans with the ball. Charlie Werner looking, gives it off to Nelly Champagne, looking to split ways in the middle of that zone. Out to Renara Calissimo, who had a nice three-pointer earlier in the game. Nice look down to Charlie Werner and another layup. And it's just piling on right now, and there's really no looking back for the Trojans at this moment.
We talked about the Trojans maybe putting some of those younger players in uncomfortable positions, and one of those younger players, number 32, Natalie Champagne. She's definitely a post player by nature, but as you can see, Kelly Horn has been having her play on the perimeter here for most of the second quarter with Ayana Terry in the game playing in the middle.
And right now, Renara Calissimo bringing the ball up. Gives it off to Charlie Werner. Charlie stays here. And it looks like we have Kate Cripley, the fourth-year senior, checking in for the Trojans. Hopefully Clawson can extend their lead. That would be nice for them, but I mean, you can't really ask for much more from a first half effort than what the Trojans have given.
No, and for the rest of the game, it's going to be all about execution, and I don't think Kelly Horn's too worried about the score at this point.
It'll stay Clawson ball just over 2 minutes here, and still can't say I'm surprised by the outcome so far, but I was definitely not expecting this. Kate Cripley in for the game, and I think the fans might come back to a nice, well result if she's able to find points here. Ball tipped away out of bounds will stay with Clawson. Shutout still intact, Nate. How far can they go? How far do you think they can hold on to it for?
I don't know. I'd put the odds at like Clawson minus 120 and making it to halftime with a shutout.
Minus 120.
Minus 120.
Wish I knew what that meant. Not the big bank, not the biggest gambler of types.
I'm not either. It's interesting stuff to look at. And it's becoming legal in Michigan very soon.
Well, that soon just got pushed about a year and a half from now. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we'll be legal enough to bet for that yet.
Yeah, it's true. But hypothetically, would you put $100 on Clawson making it to halftime?
I would. Kate Cripley with the rebound on looking like they're using the whole bench tonight. Abby Lodato now with the ball. Gives it off to Natalie Champagne. Justice with the ball. Looks like they're just holding the ball now. Not really looking. Kate drops the pass. Warrenwood's Tower ball, and they need to get back. Up 24, you're not really going to want to press or put too much pressure on a team like Warrenwood's Tower.
Good pass.
Nice pass in. Oh, just short. Well, they're definitely getting better looks as the game goes on for Warrenwood's Tower. Kate grabs it, passes it to Natalie. Back out to Justice. They're looking to rotate it, and it's taken away by Warrenwood's Tower. Number 20, Sierra Hale gets the ball stolen from her by Abby Lodato. Looking, they're just trying to get Kate a basket. It's sort of, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And they get a foul on Natalie Champagne right before halftime. And as we hit halftime, that'll be Clawson 24, and they're pitching a shutout, which I would not have thought to say, but we'll be right back for the quick halftime report after these commercial messages.
As the voice of Michigan student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports are supposed to be played. We are responsible for helping MHSA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic athletes can thrive.
We believe athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe students in the stands should have fun.
but not take the focus away from the game.
We believe coaches should act as teachers, helping student athletes develop,
while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and be supportive of their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports,
and respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports,
while keeping a high level of respect for all those involved in the games.
For more information about the Student Advisory Council, visit our website at
MHSA.com.
And we're back here for the start of the second half, with the halftime score of 24-0 holding for the Clawson Trojans.
The leading scorers for the Trojans in the first half are Leah Vesper with 8 points. Justice Biddle had 5 all on 3 throws, and then 4 others with 4 or less.
Let's hope Warrenwood Tower can, score a basket. That'd be nice.
It'd be really nice to see them be competitive here in the second half.
It's always nice to see teams bounce back in the second half, and majority of the time at least play for pride and know that they still can play at a decent level. Foul call. This might be it, Nate. This may be the time.
The Titans did a good job of punting the ball inside there and getting a nice shot, and now they're getting rewarded by going to the line to shoot 2 3 throws, which they were 0 for 4 on in the first half.
Takes a lot of power dribbles there before her shot. Let's just hope it falls. And it does not. No made field goals, no made free throws. Zip, 0, nada. Second one on the way, no good. Goes up, bodies hit the floor. Al Werner comes up with the ball. And the starting lineup for the Trojans, I'm not sure how much we'll see of them in the second half, but they're out there at the moment.
Justice Biddle has no one on her in the corner right now, but the Trojans aren't exactly looking to get an early shot here.
Oh, nope, far from it. Renara Kalesmo takes a quick shot off the wing. She'll get the ball back after a quick air ball out to Charlie. Charlie looking across the board, gets it, pump fake. Al seems to do that pretty often with the pump fake at the top. They'll get a foul underneath, and it'll be Clawson ball underneath.
Trojans are doing a good job of getting 1 or 2 rotations and really made the defense move around and then attacking off the dribble drives on the rotations.
Titans still in the zone look. Al Werner with another pump fake. Looks for it again. Another pump fake down to Justice Bill. Justice looking. Justin look. Oh, just no good. Looks like she maybe got hit on the arm, which may have caused her to come short on that, but no call. Warrenwood's Tower with the ball at the key, trying to find somewhere to go. And there it is, Nate. The shutout is over.
Yeah, they've been rewarded with really good offensive motion and action here in the second half. They got 2 good shots. One, first time they went to the free throw line, and the second time they get an easy floater for the first points of the game. Thank you.
And that will cut the lead from 24 to now 22. Charlie Werner with the ball, and it looks like we might get a turnover here. Justice Biddle with a nice save to keep the ball in, down to Jill Wilford. And ball taken away. It'll be Warwood Tower bringing the ball up. With just under 6 minutes now, 5:40 to go in the third quarter. Man, that would have been something if Clawson would have somehow hung onto a shutout, but it's good to see that Warrenwood's Tower was competitive.
Yeah, they obviously haven't quit. Come out here in the second half and executed what they want to do on offense.
And that's what you never want to see. You never want to see a team have any form of quit. As Justice Biddle has the ball now, the ball is deflected, taken by the Titans.
It's not a good sign here from the Trojans early on in the second half. A little sloppy on offense, a little lackluster on defense, letting Warrenwood Tower get what they want, and Trojans aren't getting the ball in the basket here early on.
No, but that shouldn't be become a factor much unless Warrenwood's Tower really begins to start piling on some points. But until Warrenwood's Tower finds a consistent flow on offense, we probably won't see much more of the starters.
Yeah, and there was again number 13 from Warrenwood's Tower, Carissa McCain, attacked the basket, and she got rewarded with a little bit of a bailout foul, but it wasn't undeserved.
Free throw is no good, and the score remained 24-2.
Warrenwood's Tower is now 0 for 7 from the line tonight, and looking to make their first one on the 8th attempt. A fresh 5 are in for the Trojans now. That includes Leah Vesper, Sophie Guerrero, Natalie Champagne, Abby Lodato, and Ava McNeil.
And the second free throw is off as well.
It's an interesting lineup here for the Trojans that all 4 guards feature as sophomores, and the one post player is a junior, so a relatively young lineup here for the Trojans.
Abby Lodato now passing it giving it off to Natalie Champagne to Leah Vesper, now with Sophie Guerrero into the game now for the Trojans. Ball over to the wing on Leah Vesper. It looks like a quick double team. Quick ball movement. Ava McNeil had the open lane, lets the defender come to her. Sophie Guerrero now with a quick dip to Abby Lodato, and it falls no good.
I really like this defensive adjustment Warrenwood Tower has made here in the second half. Looks like they've gone to a 1-2-2 zone defense. Are really looking for their point guide. The point of that 1-2-2 to put pressure on the ball and look for traps on the wings with the elbow defender.
Abby Lodato with the ball now to Natalie Champagne on the wing, back up to Ava McNeil. Back down to Leah Vesper, down to Natalie Champagne. Seems like they're trying to make sure they get the best look they can possible. Now Champagne takes a mid-range, falls short. Rebounded by number 22, Isabella Kofer. Ball given up, but no foul called, blocked, and off the front rim.
These are the opportunities I really like to see the Trojans run the court, but they haven't done that at all yet this season.
Abby Lodato with the ball now, over to Ava McNeil, another sophomore. Really strong sophomore class on this varsity squad for the Trojans. Natalie Champagne now gives it off to Leah Vesper. A lot of cutting, trying to break down the zone and getting open shots. Ava McNeil taking an open mid-range, just off.
Another good possession there for the Trojans that resulted with no points.
Just got to find a way to put the ball in the basket. Ball's deflected, but we'll stay here with Warrenwood Tower.
You can argue that Warrenwood Tower has outplayed Clawson here in the first 5 minutes. And Clawson hasn't scored yet in the second half, and Warrenwood Tower has. And it seems like Warrenwood Tower is taking the game to Clawson more than Clawson is imposing their will on Warrenwood Tower like they did in the first half.
Looking like a bit of a new lineup for the Titans as they bring in some fresh legs. Let's see if they can continue their offensive spurt. Mid-range from a 20, just off the backboard. Ball's deflected, but we'll stay here with the Titans. And yeah, you're right, Nate. Titans have come out in the second half, and they may not be showing it as much on the scoreboard, but they are playing a much better ball game overall than they did in the first half.
Yeah, if you're Coach Horn, this is the exact opposite of what you would want to see coming out of halftime. You'd hope your team would continue what they were doing as hard as it is. It's something you have to work on, and I admit it's difficult to do, but as a coach, you really want to see your team keep rolling out at halftime.
Natalie Champagne now, giving it to Abby Lodato up top. Leah Vesper, a lot of passes, lots of cuts, but it'll be a turnover for the Trojans. So yeah, still no points here for the Trojans, and that is a bit of a concern, especially that we've seen this as a common theme throughout the season now with this team. Warrenwood's Tower looking to finally score again, after breaking their shutout streak. Back out top, and it'll be a turnover. Ball goes out of bounds. It will be Clawson ball. You can't be, I don't think either coach is really too impressed with how their second half showing is. I mean, yeah, you're feeling better about yourself if you're Warrenwood's Tower. They haven't allowed another point. They've scored their first basket, has had the opportunities, just missed some free throws. As Clawson looks for Sophie Guerrero for her first points of the game, just off the mark. Kicked back out, and it looks like they'll get their motion back into play. Back down to Sophie. Back out to Abby Lodato, and they just seems like passing cuts and a lot of movement trying to break this zone down. Ball is deflected and taken away by Warrenwood Tower. Looking for a quick 2-on-1.
That's
just
a
off the
travel.
mark.
The guy with the travel right there.
Yeah, there was no dribble. It was all steps after she caught that pass.
Yeah, Warrenwood's Tower is really looking to push the ball whenever they can here early in the second half.
Natalie Champagne looking for somewhere to go, now giving it off to Leah Vesper back up top. It's just Clawson's getting the motions. They have the open looks and the open lanes. It's just they got to move the ball a little bit quicker, and then turnovers have been seems to be a problem now. As Warrenwood Tower bringing it up, just off the mark, looking for the rebound, offensive rebound. No good again. This time off the glass, and Warrenwood Tower finds their second basket to cut the lead down to 20.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Kelly Horn take a timeout sooner or later, because if I'm her, I'm very frustrated. But I still got very important players on the floor. And what's getting the Trojans into trouble right now is they're taking dribbles that aren't purposeful, aren't attacking the zone. They're just kind of dribbling around, dribbling place to place, and getting caught up in the Warrenwood Tower trap, which is exactly what they want to happen.
And there's a double dribble call on number 4, Ava McNeil, another sophomore on this team.
And when the Trojans are practically playing hot potato with the ball, swinging the ball, running their motions, getting it side to side, making the defense move, they're getting any shot they want. But when they don't, when they're hesitant with the ball, they start dribbling with no purpose. That's when that Warrenwood's Tower trap can converge on them, and it's causing turnovers. And that's why Warrenwood's Tower has played as well as they have, and outscored the Trojans 4-0 here in the third quarter.
And with only there being 4 points so far in this fourth quarter, you can just tell it's a different type of mindset for both teams. You see a little bit more lackadaisical, not as much care to the basketball for the Trojans, and you're seeing Warrenwood Tower at least putting more of their effort into the game and putting what they have left into trying to convert this into something.
Well, you can feel it in the gym too. It's dead in here. It doesn't have nearly the same energy it did in the first half. And the Trojans created all that energy in the first half. They came out, they were all over Warrenwood's Tower. I understand they're not running a press because they're up by more than 20 points in the third quarter, but the energy is just not the same.
And at the end of the third quarter, it's a score of 24-4 in the favor of Clawson. And we'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 300,000 participants here in Michigan who take part in high school sports.
And it looks like the parents are really enjoying what they're getting, as the fans are really involved in the YMCA, as others are sitting patiently around. But there's a group of moms in the stands that seem to be very, very involved. And there's some mosh pit action going on in the student section.
I'd have to say, Jack, I wouldn't say your mom's dance moves got passed down to you because she's a lot better than you ever were, bud.
I mean, I would have to agree with that. You know, I'm a pretty crappy dancer myself, so you know, I don't really
bringing the
give
individual
myself too much fight for that.
Bringing in the individual YMCA weathers too is 10 out of 10 for effort. It's pretty impressive.
And we're back. Renata Colessimo here to start the ball with the fourth quarter. Kate Cripley as the bench. That would have been an energy shift. They're trying to get Kate Cripley her first basket of the season, it feels like, or at least tonight. Ayanna Terry with the ball, shooting her first free throws of the night. And it's no good. 7:43 now left in the fourth quarter. Ayanna Terry looking to shoot her second free throw. And there it is. She makes her first free throw and gets her first points of the night to make the score 25-4.
Trojans' first points of the second half as well, coming early on here in the fourth quarter.
Warrenwoods Tower now looking to get their offense in more of a flow, seeing if they can get anything going, but Al Verner intercepts the pass. And Al Verner takes it all the way, just off the mark. Saved by Renata Colessimo. Out to Charlie Verner. And Al with the ball now.
Even though that didn't result in a basket, I feel like that'd be a great way for the Trojans to try to get back in their groove. Is when they create a turnover on defense or get a quick rebound, just push that ball up the court, because I don't think Warrenwoods Tower has the talent, speed, and athleticism to match up with them whatsoever.
Renata Colessimo with the pass intercepted, looking for Alex Verner on the nice backdoor cut. It'll stay Warrenwoods Tower ball after the deflection. Warrenwoods Tower, I mean, 4 points is 4 points, but at least they're showing fight throughout the whole game.
Yeah, and they've completely outplayed Clawson here in the second half, and I don't think Coach Horn will be afraid to admit that after the game. It would be nice to see the Trojans go on a nice little 6-0, 8-0 run here to kind of put the game away and put everyone at ease. And you walk out of here feeling better. If you keep playing like this in the second half, that feeling will carry over after the game, and you look at the scoreboard and you win by 20, 18 points, something around there, but you're not satisfied after the game because of the way you played in the second half. But if you end up winning by 30 or 40 points and play well down the stretch, I think you'll be a lot happier.
As they get a travel call, but the fans do not agree with that whatsoever. There is a lot of big disagreement with the fans on that one. And it didn't look like from here that it was a bad call. It looked just like she took 2 steps and took a nice little Euro, but they won't count it. As Warrenwoods Tower goes down and misses the layup, Kate Kirper going for the rebound. And they will blow the whistle as the ball falls to the ground.
It's a great hustle there by number 5, Kendall Wiedner, and that's kind of why Warrenwoods Tower has played as well as they have in the second half. They're willing to go to those dirty areas, willing to drive the ball into the paint, willing to get those second chance points off offensive rebounds, and so far it's worked to an extent. And there it is again.
Oh, and number 23 gets an and one for Warrenwoods Tower, and they're still in the single digits, but again, they're more consistent than very more consistent than they were in the first half.
Yeah, I know this hasn't been a high-scoring second half by any means, but Warrenwoods Tower is outscoring Clawson 6-1, and that is definitely not what Clawson wanted to see.
I mean, obviously you have the couple of reserves, but you still want to see at least a good foundation. And as Coach Horn always goes by, you're only as good as your 12th player.
Well, and that's the thing, is that the lineup they've been putting out on the corner second here is more incapable of this Warrenwoods Tower team. And, it's just the last of their mental mistakes and the things they weren't doing in the first half that are killing them right now.
As Charlie Verner draws the foul, it will be on the floor as Trojan will take control. Charlie Verner to inbound it for Clawson. Looking, finds her sister Al up top, and they will get right back set up. Charlie with the ball in the wing, looking down low to Kate. Kate looking for the shot, nothing there. Still swinging around now to Ayana Terry to Renata Colosimo.
See, the Trojans just went 5 passes here without a dribble. That's what they were doing in the first half. And now they're probably going to get a good shot this possession unless they try to force something.
Nice. It looks like it was deflected and it will stay here with the Trojans, but the right ball movement was key, and you only saw one dribble there in about 6 to 7 passes.
Yeah, and the weird part to me is that flex action was working really well in the first half, and instead of trying to hit that baseline runner in the corner, they're trying to hit them in between the 2 blocks for some reason. If they wait for that baseline runner to clear out and get to the short corner, it's going to be open for a 10-foot jumper every single time.
As Warrenwood's Tower gets a steal and looking to drive, she puts the shot up and it falls. It's now 25-8. And if you're Warrenwood's Tower, if you're Brian Sosha, that's a great sign for her team, or for his team, to come out in the second half and fight the way that they have. But definitely not what, like we've been saying, definitely not what you want to see out of this Clawson team.
Yeah, I mentioned Kelly Horn maybe calling a timeout to regroup her team earlier, but I just don't think that's going to happen. I think it might be a good learning experience for them to suffer through a run like this and try to figure out on their own and build up that mental toughness that they'll need going into district play where everything's going to get more competitive.
And especially you want to see them win, and now that she subs the more of the starters back in, as Ayana Terry and Kate Cripley come out, and Jill Lyford and Justice Biddle come back in for the Trojans. We'll see what the offense can do now if they're able to swing the ball as much as they have been.
Yeah, and as I said, the Trojans will need to go on that 6-0, 8-0 run to end the game at some point in this fourth quarter. Really feel good walking out of this thing.
Charlie going up with the layup just off, hits the rim twice.
That was a really good possession by the Trojans, just ended up in a missed layup.
As play moves on now under 5 minutes in the fourth quarter. Ball deflected and batted over to Jill Lyford.
Again, that's another scenario where I just see Trojans push the ball. They get a deflection, they get a turnover. The ball's already at the 3-throw line. One stretch pass to the wing or with the point guard streaking up the middle, and you got fast break.
And Renata Colosimo takes it right down in the middle of the lane and finally finds them their first field goal of the second half.
And the Trojans, their identity is being a really good half-court offensive team, but I really feel like being able to run the floor and being able to push that ball and get easy buckets would really take this team to the next level.
Yeah, and that is a very important point as the ball goes out of bounds and Warrenwood's Tower will turn the ball over to Clawson. But hoping you see some good ball rotation as more substitutions being made. So Sophie Guerrero in, Aaliyah Vesper and Abby Lodato. So now the main core of point guards and guards have come out, but still maintaining Justice and Jill Lyford on the floor for the bigs. Ball swinging around, Aaliyah Vesper taking it up top. As Aaliyah Vesper takes Warrenwood's Tower bringing the ball up. 3-point attempt, or it will go down as a 2, but Warrenwood's Tower with another field goal here to add on in this fourth quarter to cut the lead down to 17, which at one point was 24. Jill Lyford, now to Justice Biddle, 2 bigs. Open look in the corner, looking for Sophie. Sophie goes up and will draw the foul. And it seems like that's a team favorite as she will head to the line.
Yeah, I mean, it's just another good possession by the Trojans. They work the ball around, pound it into the post, and they get rewarded by sending Sophie Guerrero to the line to shoot 2 shots.
As Sophie Guerrero looking for her first points of the night. Sophie Guerrero misses the first. Hopefully she makes the second. Sophie Guerrero now ready for her second free throw attempt. Off the mark. Will we get a lane violation? And the lane violation will be on the Trojans. Well, as the game's winding down, I'm sure Kelly Horn will have some positives, but will surely have her negatives about how her team came out in the second half after this game. Justice Biddle with the steal now to Sophie Guerrero.
Yeah, I mean, they've been outscored by 7 here in the second half, 10-3. There's a lot of things they can look back on and fix watching this game tape. And, maybe that's more of a positive than a negative in the long run. But
watching this team game in and game out, as Aaliyah Vesper hits a nice mid-range jump shot. is they just haven't seemed to put a full 4 quarters together of basketball. And I feel like when they do that, they will be a very, very dangerous team if they get it clicking at the right time.
You know, I think it's just part of being young, but you're right. And if they do end up putting that full 4 quarters of basketball together at some point, there's not a team in this league that they'll lose to. I mean, you saw against Southlake, they play like they did in the first quarter. You know, Southlake could have played better in that first quarter too. But I don't see them, any team in this league, even coming close to touching them. I think they'd win every game by over 10 points. But, you know, it's not going to happen. You saw the other night at Warren Mott, jumped out to a double-digit lead. Warren Mott kind of clawed and fought their way back in the game. Clawson had a rough stretch on offense, and that stuff's going to happen.
And just here on Tuesday, they had a solid 21-point victory over another league team in Roseville, who they have now swept. And with a win tonight, they're going to have swept Warren Woods Tower as well.
Yeah, and I think one thing that is – it's a very good thing, but it can also be a problem at times too, is this Trojan team, you know, has 5 or 6 players on their roster that can get you 10 points a night, and it kind of just depends on the night. But they don't really have that one girl that they can go to and say, no, any night and say, no, here's the ball, we need a basket right now, can you go get us that basket? I think they kind of struggle with that. And, you know, I have a feeling, you know, 3 or 4 of those sophomores will be able to do that by their senior year, but, you know, right now they're very team oriented. They don't really have a scenario where they can give the ball to one player and say, hey, go get me a basket, we need this right now.
And Warren Woods Tower with a couple offensive rebounds there as they put the second chance points in, cutting the lead back down to 17, but at least it's good to see they have some type of consistent shot or some consistent offensive flow here in the second half. Shot falls no good, but we have a foul underneath. That'll be on number 33, Sophie Guerrero, her first. Team's 5th on the night. As Warren Woods Tower regains possession of the ball with 45 here left in the game. I think it's pretty safe to say Clawson will come out on top, but definitely some signs that, like we've been preaching the whole game, is playing a more complete game. As we get an illegal screen call, as Clawson will now regain possession. Sophomore point guard Abby Lodato with the ball over to Natalie Champagne. Kicks it over to Ava McNeil, out to Aaliyah Vesper, and it's the ball movement, a little bit more dribbling, but the ball is still moving pretty consistently here for Clawson. Down to Sophie Guerrero, nowhere to go, just sort of flings the ball out, and the ball stolen by Warren Woods Tower. And Abby steals the ball back. Hopefully she'll take it in, and we'll go for the layup, and it's good. Put the Trojans back up 19, and if the game wasn't already on ice, to just solidify a nice solid victory for the Trojans tonight.
Yeah, and I talk about the Trojans, I want to see them push the ball a lot. And there's 2 players on their team that I think can really do that for them. And it's Renata Carosimo and Abby Lodato, because they're very fast and they control the ball well. They got good moves. They can take the ball themselves, or they can get their head up and make a pass. And they have a bunch of really good wings like Charlie Vernon and Leah Vesper that can run the floor and get those easy layups or 10, 12-foot jump shots in transition.
And we get a foul call on the floor as Abby Lodato gets bumped into by the defender. So we'll see where that goes, as it'll be a 1-and-1 now. Abby Lodato will go to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity for the Trojans to try to extend the lead back up to 18. Good on the first to do that, as the score moves to 32-14, as they score the same amount right now as they did the last time. So at least similarities in how the offense may have flowed in both games. And she hits the second to make it back up to 19, and Warren Woods Tower, I think, would have been more in the ball game had they just shown a little bit more competitiveness in that first half.
Yeah, and one glaring bright spot for Clawson that hasn't faded away all night is their free throw shooting. It hasn't been perfect, but it's been really solid, and it's good enough to win them almost every game they'll play this year.
Yeah, Warren Woods Tower looking for another bucket. Number 24 hits another mid-ranger, and they just seems like it's just too little, too late.
I mean, they played really good here in the second half. I mean, they've outscored Warren Woods Tower 16-. They've outscored Clawson 16-9.
As Sophie Guerrero, as everybody goes crazy, I don't know how she made that shot. but that'll go down as a buzzer beater for Sophie Guerrero. With the wrap it up. And the final score tonight from tonight's game will be Clawson Trojans 35 and Warren Woods Tower Titans 16. Thank you for joining us on ClawTV, and we'll see you next time.